It is a phony referendum, and it is going to be used by Assad to justify what he's doing to other Syrian citizens. That's something that Hillary Clinton said in 2012 in regard to the constitutional referendum that was put down in Syria as a reaction. Well, it's not even true, but it was in the midst of the civil unrest, which is continuing. This is actually important as well, because it indicates that her foreign policy is not it's not flexible. What it indicates is that she sees the world once again in terms of hegemonic powers, empires, and client states, or just well, let's stick with client states, right? Empires and clients, and clients might not choose to be clients, but regardless, this idea of empires dictating terms. Any coherent narrative of the mess in Syria that is consistent with the Western line. I'm trying to use my words carefully here because well, if you are to at all take the Western narrative seriously, it is all about self-determination, democracy, overthrowing a dictator, and etc. So it might surprise people to learn that there was actually a constitutional referendum in Syria that was designed to allow for multi-parliamentary elections and the kinds of things that people like Clinton claim that the Syrians were fighting for. And it's thus very illuminating to learn that Clinton's response to these developments was to completely write them off, meaning that there was no way out. There wasn't anything that Assad could have actually done to appease the Americans. None of the demands were of any real serious consequence. The Americans had the desire for regime change. That was it. Everything else was just an elaborate ruse to get to the idea of regime change. And that's what this demonstrates. That there's nothing that Assad could have done. It was the Americans wanted their own puppets in charge. And I actually think that she has very similar perspectives about Iran, and it's just a matter of time before they get set in motion. This is a complicated thing. I can't get into it really right now. Besides, giving you the path to walk down. I think that with most of these quotes, that's really what I'm able to do here. There it is. That's something she said in 2012. And it is a very, well, it's extremely hawkish. And if you're not a hawk, if you're more of a dove, you should be very concerned about that, or at the very least, you should understand what you're voting for before you do it.